And we are live. Welcome. Welcome to the Kris Amerikos show. Today, 24th of January, 2020. Today, I want to make sure that we get a lot of really productive things done. I want to make sure that we answer all the questions that come in. And I see a few people are joining. Excellent. As you know, the Kris Amerikos show is a live video that we do every morning. Well, usually it's the morning, every day, one time a day. And sometimes it's short, sometimes it's long, sometimes it's on YouTube here, sometimes it's on in our Facebook group, sometimes it's on Instagram. But basically, every morning we do this, we give people a chance to ask questions. And then I answer a lot of them right here in front of you. And sometimes I even tell you, I give you some special discounts sometimes on some products, on some things. So this call today is, let's see, we've been doing it, I don't know how many, 5, 6 days, 4, 5, 6 days, something like that. We're coming to the end of the first week. And I'm going to try to have other people, like guests, come on to the show and make it a little more entertaining for those of you who are actually watching each day. Now, if you're not, that's fine too, but you can always come back and watch them later. And what we're going to be doing today is answering questions that come into the comments or the chat here on YouTube. So people write me all over the place. They go to our website all the time and they write us and they ask questions. And especially when they're trying to find the right course. So let's break it down. Here are some of the most common questions that we get. First of all, some people say that they're trying to learn writing or reading or listening or one of those skills, not speaking. And they say that is the thing that they want to learn, right? A lot of people go to a teacher, they say, I need to learn how to read better. And that's why, what I'm trying to do with English, that's why it's not working, because I can't read very well. When I read, it's hard for me to understand, right? They say something like this. And if they come to a regular teacher, that teacher will probably say, okay, let's do a reading program, right? Let's really improve your reading by practicing reading and doing exercises. And it's all of that traditional stuff. But if you come to me, I'm going to tell you, if you want to study reading and you don't want to study speaking, then go to a different teacher. That's what I'm going to tell you first. Don't study with me if you want to only learn reading, because I believe that all skills are improved through spoken English, and that when you learn more about spoken English, you're going to learn more about how the language really works, and then that will help you to learn the parts of the language that you need to learn to function, to operate, to work, to live, right? Those things are the most important things to learn in the language. And then you can learn higher level, more cultural things. But first, you need to get the functional things first, right? You need to get those first. You need to get those before other skills. So reading is important. Reading is important because we need to know letters and how they sound, right? That part of reading is absolutely critical to learn in the beginning. So it's not like we can just take this category called reading and say, it's not important. And that's not what I'm saying at all. Okay, great. I see Baik says, how to improve our English well. So Baik, thanks for this question, and I'm going to use this question as an example of what I'm talking about. So you see, a lot of students ask questions that are very vague. Vague. What does vague mean? Not even sure if you can read that. It might be backwards. What does vague mean? Vague means unclear. Unclear. Unclear meaning of something, right? So for example, if I say, if you say, Kris, are you a teacher? And I say, I wanted to be a teacher, and I go to work every day. Well, if somebody says that, that's very vague, right? They didn't answer you. That's not a clear answer. You don't really understand what that means. It's vague. It's not clear. And when we ask these kinds of questions, Baik, how to improve our English, it's a very vague question. It's a very general question, right? So think about it like this. If a person says, how can I improve my English? It's such a big question. So it's such a big question. So the answer will be very big and vague and general too, right? The answer will be like this too. So how can you improve your English? Study English. Study English more. There you go. That's a good answer to this kind of question. We need to ask more specific questions, right? Business coaches talk about this all the time. It's the same for them. They say, if you just tell people that you want to make money, then here's $1. You're done, right? You got what you wanted. You need to be specific. You need to say exactly how much you need or want, right? So with English, it's the same. With English, it's the same. It means that you need to be specific. Exactly how many words do you want to know? Or new words do you want to learn? Or exactly which situations do you want to be able to speak English in? Right? If you don't need to fly anywhere, then don't learn anything about airplanes. Right? Because you're not going to be in the airport. You're not going to be flying on the airplane. I mean, of course, it's good to know generally words like fly or take off, right? But I think you understand what I'm saying. If we focus on specifically what we're trying to achieve, then we'll have a better result. All right, here come some good questions. Asma, hi. I think you were here the other day too. And I love your questions, so thanks. I'm not sure if you're in our Everyday English program, but if you aren't, you definitely should join, because you're the kind of student who asks lots of questions, and this is the kind of student who does very well in our program. So Asma says, what's the difference between only and just? Great question. Great question. So the question is, what's the difference between only and just? Well, here are some differences. Only means, let's use a different color. Only means one. Right? It's one. It looks like onely. Only and one. And just has a few different meanings. Just can mean simply, right? Like, it's easy to understand this, or it's very basic. Just can mean simply. Just can mean like only, like one. Just can mean not long ago. Only can mean that too. And just can also mean that something is fair. Right? Now, only can also mean one, like only like this, right? Only can also mean not long ago. Only can also mean simply. Like nothing more, just this very simple thing. Only this very simple thing. You see, I just used it like this. Just, only, simply. But only cannot mean fair. So here's the differences. Let's look at the main differences. The main difference is that we have this meaning, fair. Just can mean, like, for example, if we use just as an adjective, right? These meanings are like an adverb, but fair meaning is like an adjective. He is a just man. Let me write these two examples up on the board for you. If we say, okay, let's get rid of this only over here. If we say, he is just a man, or he is a just man. So what's the difference here? Well, the difference is that in this word, just tells us more information about is. It tells us more information about the word is. It's an adverb. It means simply, only, not long ago, something like this, right? He is just a man. He is only a man. He's simply a man. He's just a man. But here, in the second sentence, he is a just man. Here, the word just is an adjective. And this tells us more information about the word man. What kind of man is he? Right? So this is different. Okay. Let's see. Questions coming in. Hello, Kris. How I pronounce daughter and water as in American English. So American English, right, with an American accent. So, right. So I understand the question. He's asking about the words daughter and water, and so let's talk about these two words and how we can pronounce them. Great questions coming in today. And I see another question here. I can't join your program, Everyday English. Why not? Here's the link. Here is the link. I'm going to send everybody the link right now to join Everyday English. This is the best program I've ever created. And we have lessons like this, but you can speak with me and we can speak to each other. I can help you with pronunciation. And so we have lessons like this, but where we can see and hear each other every day, 8 lessons every day on our website. So you can go to krisamerikos.com and you can join and you can practice speaking. The next lesson starts very soon. So, okay, there's a question about pronunciation. Let's talk about that. Daughter and water. By the way, you can read what I'm writing, yeah? It's not backwards. I always look at the screen and think, probably it's backwards. Probably they can't read it. Or can you? Let's see. I need to improve my pronunciation. How do you say, talk, speak, tell? Oh, that's a good question. It's a big, I think I'll need to answer that another time. As you know, I have over 500 video lessons on this channel on YouTube. Okay, let's see. Ryan says, hi, Kris, from Atman from, I'm Atman from Algeria. Thanks for all the great job. Thank you for your support. Okay, good. I see more pronunciation questions coming in. That's great. Let's talk about them. Let's see. It's fine. We can read it. It's all forward. Okay, great. Okay, so daughter and water. This is a good one. So about pronunciation. In British English, and probably you have studied British English at school or university, in British English, this is pronounced something like daughter, daughter, right? With an at the end. And this sound here is or, daughter. But here in the word water, in British English, you probably heard water, water, right? With an at the end and a o here, water. So that's British English. In American English, how do you pronounce it? Well, British English has different accents, and so does American English. American English has different accents too. And if we look at different types of American accents, it sounds different. So there's one area of the United States called New England. Basically, there's New York, New York State, and then everything that's north of New York on that side of the country, that's New England. And New York and New England have accents that are closer to England. So in New York and New England, they have the same sound. They don't say R so hard like other Americans do. So, for example, in New York, someone might say daughter, daughter, and water, water. Now, probably one big thing that you will notice that's different between British English and American English is the T sound in the middle of words, the T. Because the T sound in American English usually sounds like a D. In American English, it sounds like this, right? So, of course, my accents are not perfect when I'm trying to speak like a New Yorker or a Londoner. My accent isn't great for that. You know, I have my own accent because I'm from where I'm from, and so it's different. It might sound different, but this is how I understand it, and I've studied this for a while. So, you know, here in British English, we usually keep this T sound. So it's daughter, daughter. And in New York English, it would be something more like daughter, daughter. So you hear it changed from a T to a D sound. And this is typical of all American accents. Okay. So I see some questions coming in, and then I'll come back to these pronunciation questions. I see there's another one here. I want to say that I like if you can do just your live show on a YouTube channel like this one. So we're going to be moving between the different channels because we need to build the audience there too. So people from all of the channels come to all of the different channels. So today it's YouTube, but tomorrow it will be Facebook or Instagram. I haven't decided yet. In fact, I think I'm going to let it be a surprise for tomorrow. Okay. And I also don't tell the time because, I mean, when I'm going to do this ahead of time, I don't say it for two reasons. First of all, I'm just doing it for free, and it's just when it's convenient, when I have time, right? And second of all, it's because you should follow the channel. There's other good content that we're creating, and you should get updates. You know, turn the updates on, and then when we do the live call like this, then you'll get a notification. Okay, great. Let's go back to pronunciation. So, as we said, British English will keep this T, not say R, and here we have this O sound, and it sounds a little different than the New York O sound. So here we have daughter, and here we have, and in New York English, we would have daughter, daughter, right? We still don't have the sound at the end, really. We have a different O here, and then we have this T that sounds like a D. But let's look at something else. In American English, we talk about the Midwest accent, or a lot of people say the Midwest accent is what we call a non-regional accent. Non-regional, not from one area, not from one region, not from one place. So this is like the official pronunciation of American English, not an accent, not a local accent. So in standard American English, this is daughter, daughter. So it's aw. It's a lot. This aw sound is different from the British English and the New York English. Aw, right? It's a lot different. Ah, it's an ah sound. It's a long a sound. Daughter. But in New York English or British English, it will be more of an aw. Aw. See, it's closer to this mixed OA sound. So that's the difference here. And then, of course, there are other different regions of the country that have different accents too. But let's just stick to these two for now because they show a good comparison. But yes, one good thing to remember is this T that sounds like a D in the middle of words, that American English speakers very, very regularly do this. And to them, it doesn't sound like a D. To us, it doesn't sound like D. It sounds like a soft T. But to other people, it sounds like a D usually. So, for example, for me, I'm going to say water, 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 water. Someone from New York is going to say water, 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 water. Someone from Boston is going to say water, water, water. And someone from London, I think, will probably say water, water, water. Okay? Great, great, great. All right. So next, hello from Myanmar. Hi from Azerbaijan. Blah, 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 boom, boom, boom. Okay, here's another question about pronunciation. Clothes and clothes. Clothes and clothes. What's the difference in the pronunciation here? So, clothes, right? We have k, l, z. Clothes, clothes. And here we have k, l, u, v, z. Clothes, right? So this is the only sound that's different is this one. And it's really hard to say this sound before z, right? Z, z. Can you try saying that? It's a hard sound to make. Clothes. Z, z, z. Clothes. Now, it's a hard sound to make, I agree. And that's why most people who speak American English, when they're speaking quickly, they just don't say that sound. They don't say that sound at all. So they'll just say, put on your clothes and close the door. Or close the door before you put on your clothes. Right? Something like this. And we won't say th. We won't say this sound. So those two words sound the same in regular conversation. But if I see just this word alone on a piece of paper and someone says, how do you say that word? I'll probably say clothes with my th sound in there. If I'm trying to speak clearly, right? Good question. Your other question was about daughter and doctor. So Here again, it's going to depend on the accent. For example, in British English, it will probably be something more like daughter and doctor. And in New York English, it would be something like daughter and doctor. And in Midwest English, it'll be something like daughter, doctor. All right, great. Next. How do you pronounce the word tongue? That's it, tongue. So tongue has an interesting sound in it. Hear this in before the G. This in sounds like like at the end of a word that has the ing ending. Ing. We don't usually say ing, right? If you're speaking very clearly, you might say that so a person really understands you. But usually we're going to say ing, and it's not really a full G sound. It's the special in sound. This sound. But in the word tongue, we use that also. So it's tongue, and it's like you're swallowing the G sound. It's a softer G sound. Mm-hmm. So this is probably what you want to practice, this sound, this in sound. All right, guys. Well, how long will it take to speak like a native if I'm in your classes? Well, I mean, it will take less time than if you don't have practice. It will take less time than if you use a different strategy. But it will still take a long time to sound like a native speaker. I mean, some people study their whole life and never sound like a native speaker. I think you should focus on the results that you want to get as far as how you want to use the language. What do you want to achieve with it, right? So why do you want to speak like a native speaker? And we talk about this in my pronunciation and accent course called English Hacks. I'm just going to send that link here in the chat real quick. In my English Hacks course, we talk about the first thing you need to do when you think that you want to sound like a native speaker, you first need to decide which native speaker, because there are lots of native speakers who sound very different and have different accents, right? So which native speaker do you want to sound like? And that will depend on, what you're trying to achieve with the language. Okay, Ekaterina Levy, hi. It's been a long time. Haven't seen you. Good to hear from you. Kris, can you tell me, please, what it means to have it in you to do something, and how common is this expression? It's a common expression. It's a common expression, and we use it a lot as like a challenge or a dare, like to push someone to say, can you do it? Can you do it? So for example, someone says, let's go skydiving. Let's jump out of an airplane and dive down to the ground. Let's go do that together. We can do it. We can do it if you've got it in you. Right? If you've got it in you. We can do it if you've got it in you. If you're strong enough, if you're brave enough, if you really can do this. Right? So to have it in you to do something means that you have some qualities, some characteristics that make you good enough or strong enough to do this thing. It can also be about something bad too. Like, for example, I gave him $100 and he had it in him to ask me for 100 more. So in this case, it means that he was like rude enough to do this, right? He had so much rudeness in him that he could do this, or he had this quality. He was able to do this. All right, Ekaterina, I hope that helps. Another thing that you can say is you can say that I didn't have it in me to do something like when the boy who was blind, right? Blind, can't see. When the boy who was blind told me that he wanted to be an airplane pilot, I didn't have it in me to crush his dreams. I didn't have it in me to tell him that it would not happen. I didn't have enough strength. I didn't have enough courage, or I didn't have this quality to tell him this. I didn't have this characteristic that I couldn't tell him this. I'm not that kind of person, right? I didn't have it in me, or I don't have it in me. If you watch a TV show about crime, they interview somebody about like there's a murderer, right? He killed somebody, and then they interview one of his friends or family, and they say he doesn't have it in him to kill someone. He doesn't have it in him. Like, this is not who he is. All right, cool. I think I explained that one. All right. Alexei says, you need to appear in the channels of the popular YouTube bloggers like Skying or Justin. Well, there's a big difference. Skying, I think they probably have some good teachers, probably. But there's a big difference. I'm really a teacher. I'm really a teacher, and I really have multiple teaching businesses, and I really do this. It's not just a show. It's not just something that I don't just make a video and then put it on YouTube and try to get 1 million people to watch it or something. I put it there as a tool that people can use, and then so that they can come over and really practice English with me, because I know that on YouTube you can learn English on YouTube to a certain level, right? But then after that, you'll need to use some other source to practice English, especially if you want to speak English. So that's what I do, right? I help people learn how to speak English. A lot of people get lost out there in the internet world, watching 1 million videos every day and thinking that they're getting information from a good, reliable source, from someone that they can trust. But unfortunately, being a successful YouTuber is a different skill than being a teacher and being a real teacher. And I think that you understand that. And I think that everyone who sees me and then sees those people, they understand that difference. And Alexei, thanks so much for worrying about it and for trying to make this suggestion. I mean, I really appreciate your support. You're always on here and always pushing me. And it's great to have people like you here. It really helps, honestly. And Alexei, don't worry. I know that, my channels are going to increase in people who are following. People are going to hear about what we're doing, and we're growing in a different way than them. All right. They needed to get to that. They needed 1 million people very quickly. We don't. I'm good with just a few people. I would rather have less people, get better results with less people. That's what we do right now. But I'm sure that soon we will have 1 million people on this channel and 1 million on the Facebook group, and everywhere. There will be a lot of people, and that'll be great. And I hope that we can really get a lot of people results when we get to that level. But at the same time, I'm really happy where we are now. And the people who are with us now are the best. The people who support you at the very beginning are the best. And I've already been in this for a while. I was an offline teacher for a long time. And when I came online, I started on YouTube too. And I've been doing this for a while. It's not like I just started. It's not like this is something new. And so I'm increasing my skills here too. I'm not going to tell anybody that I'm better at YouTube or something than them. But But yeah, I have a mission about the people who I want to reach. And the people who are here right now, the people who have been here since the beginning, I've noticed them. The people who have stayed with me, who have supported me all the way, I see you. I notice you. I remember names. I remember faces. I remember people who join. I remember people who come back. It's not all about money. Money is something that just helps us to move further, to move forward, right? Yeah, some of the courses cost money, but that's not the main point of why we're here. If we have more or less of that, more of that lets us just reach more people, right? So that's just fuel. It's just energy that comes in, and then we use it to create something great and reach more people. Like if we didn't have the people buying our paid programs, then I wouldn't do this right now. I wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't be able to offer the free things. We wouldn't be able to offer English Club for just $1 per month. Let me send that link right now, because that's the craziest deal. That's the craziest deal I've ever done, and that's the craziest deal there's ever going to be. English Club for just $1 per month, new lessons every day. So, those are the kinds of things that we can do. We can give you lots and lots and lots of value for free, for $1, or even, have 8 speaking lessons every day and keep the prices really, really low or free when we have support like this. So it's great, and we're building from a very real place, So when we do get to that high level of people, the things that we can do there and the ways that we can help people are going to be amazing. Really, there's a plan. Okay, so thank you so much. Kris is not just a teacher. All need to appeal to Kris, just like Mr. Kris. Alexei, I didn't really. Sorry, I don't really understand. Henna says, "You are amazing, Kris. I joined English Club." Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for your support, Henna. I hope you like it. Let's see. I'm from Cambodia. Hi. Hello, handsome teacher. Thanks. Hi, teacher. Hi, teacher. Okay, why are there no subtitles with your speech? I can't understand everything. Lubna, it's because I am speaking live and no one has written the comments or the subtitles. That's why, Lubna. Laura says, "Hi, Kris, you're amazing. A big hug, Laura." Thank you, Laura. Bante, hey, Mr. Kris, by the way, you're getting younger day by day. Thanks. Actually, Bante, I'll tell you my secret. I just shaved a little bit, just a little bit right before I started the video. Maybe that's why. Great. Okay. Manny's here. Hi, Manny. Welcome to this live call. Oh, my daughter decided to say hi to everybody too. Rosalina says, "Hi, Kris, may I know what's the difference? What's the difference between another, other, the others, another?" Yeah. Okay, I'll answer this last question, and then I will, and then we'll finish our live call for today. But wow, we went long today, almost 40 minutes already. That's a good one. Okay, guys. Well, I see one other question I'll answer real quick. How do you pronounce the word squirrel? Squirrel. Well, that's how you pronounce it, squirrel. Like girl and squirrel in American English. Okay, great. Next. Others. There was a question about other, another, the others. So, first of all, another can mean one other or one more. Now, what is other? Other means different, not this one, right? Others is not the one that we already talked about, right? Not this one. So one other, if it's one. So for example, I have this cup I have this glass. And if I have one more glass, I can say I have another glass. But if I have more than one, I can say, and I have others. And I have others. And I have other glasses. So we can say other plus noun. And this noun must be plural, more than one. It must be more than one if we use it with other. Or we can just say others, like a noun. So it's just a word that we can use like that. All right? That's the difference. All right, guys. Okay, I see one question. I want to ask you this, but I feel so shy. How old are you? Because you look younger day by day. I'm 33 years old. Thanks, guys. Okay, so thank you so much for everything that you have been doing. Thanks for joining our live call today. Thanks for writing in your questions. And thanks to those who have been joining our other programs, English Club or Everyday English, where we speak live, face-to-face, 8 times every day. So if you want to join those programs, go over to the website, krisamerikos.com. And tomorrow, let's see, Claire, hey, Claire. Claire says, hi, Kris, is there any way we can speak clearly like you do? Claire, I've spoken with you. I think your English is really good, and I think that you speak very clearly. Rusk says, can we expect that there will be a discount to Everyday English? There is a discount right now. It's 50% off, which means that it's $49.99 per month, about $50 per month, and there's 8 lessons every day. It's super cheap. Great. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. That's it for today. And tomorrow, I will see you all on Facebook. We'll be back on Facebook tomorrow doing the Kris Amerikos show there. All right. See everybody. Have a great day, and we'll talk again very soon. Bye-bye.